That's not normal.
Are you sick and tired of dealing with a runny nose? Is it not fun to be out and about and every 5 minutes or 10 minutes you have to take out a tissue, blow your nose, or when you're trying to fall asleep at night, it's just drip, 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 and then it starts getting clogged up and then you get a headache? Are you tired of that? Would you like to learn how to deal with this naturally and permanently? So in this next video, this is something that I recorded several years ago in 2019 in the before times. I talk about how you can overcome this issue of having a runny nose. And this is something that I had to do myself. I lived with chronic runny nose. I will call it chronic runny nose syndrome. Just make up a term, because that's what they do. They just make up words for ailments. So I had chronic runny nose syndrome, but I was able to overcome it using some dietary methods, some other naturopathic methods to remove the source of the waste that was in my body that was causing this problem to continue to happen. So watch this video. Wow, I got, that's, my eye got dive bombed by a bug. Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm Professor Spira, and today I want to do a quick video of how you can stop a runny nose naturally. So I practice something called the Mucusless diet healing system by Professor Arnold Ehret. The term mucusless means mucus-free. So first and foremost, what you want to do is immediately stop eating mucus-forming foods.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
What are mucus-forming foods? There's a whole list of those here in the book. We got this is the annotated, revised, and edited Mucusless diet healing system. Basically, it's real simple. Stop eating mucus-forming foods, and then you're gonna have to let this stuff drain. As you let this waste and this toxic material drain out of your body, the need for your body to have to go through that process all the time goes away. Before I started practicing the Mucusless diet, I had sinus issues and mucus problems almost every day of my life. And I was taking suppressants, I was taking pharmaceutical medications, Seldane and Allegra and all that kind of stuff. All it did was suppress some of the symptoms, but I was still having chronic migraine headaches all the time. Still, although I'm having these, even though I'm taking these drugs, which are supposed to be helping something, I still have a ton of terrible symptoms. If I would have known, most of us don't know at that until we get here, learn about this stuff and check out the Mucusless diet. If I'd have known better, I wouldn't have taken all of those medicines, the suppressants, the cough suppressant, the stuff that causes you to just dry you up. All these different over-the-counter medications, other stuff. It's terrible. And so if you want to naturally stop that runny nose, first and foremost, stop eating mucus-forming foods. Meat, dairy products, processed grains and starches, all of that stuff. Take a break. You need to take a break from it.
No! God, please, no!
Stop it. Get some help.
Right away, unless you like your runny nose, just take a break for a while. If you check out the Mucusless diet healing system book, it's going to show you how to find a transitional dietary plan that's going to work for you. So you're going to want to start to get into what we call a transition diet and eat the fruits, vegetables. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of system. So you have to learn the principles. We all share the same principles. The principles of the Mucusless diet healing system work for me, work for my friend brother Ehret, who taught me about the Mucusless diet, works for people that's just starting the diet, works for people that did the diet for a while, left it, and then came back to it because they got sick. It works for everybody, the principles. But that doesn't mean that what everybody's eating is going to be the same. Not everybody's gonna be on the same regimen or program because that is unique to each person. So you get on the transition diet. If we talk about runny nose, I have to bring up enemas. Lemon juice and distilled water enemas is what we practice. We people in the mucus-free community, we're known for our lemon juice and distilled water enemas. And if you systematically apply the transition diet along with lemon juice, distilled water enemas within a short period of time, unless you have an enormous elimination and you're going through something, your body has loosened up. You know, if you get started on this natural food path, some people go through a huge amount of elimination several weeks in or a couple months in, because all of this stuff has been loosened up but not totally released yet, and body triggers cold and flu-like symptoms, and all of a sudden get your boxes of tissues ready, as all this stuff is gonna start coming out. Don't suppress it. Do yourself a favor. Let it out. Let it flow. Let that mucus faucet just flow. Because if you're eating right, you stop eating so much mucus forming foods, you're going to get to a point where you no longer go through that. So would you rather suppress it so that later down the road it becomes chronic illness and it's something more serious, more painful, more hard to deal with down the road? Or take some time off if you can. I mean, this needs to be a priority. So if you got a job situation, if you have some kind of way to, take a week off, take some days off or whatever, take the time off you need, do your enemas. Now, because if it's that bad, then you want to investigate the fasting part of the system. So also in the Mucusless diet book, as well as, I don't have that, rational fasting. The fasting that's a whole different level. But I like to emphasize the system. It's how you combine all these things together. You'll go and find a lot of different people talking about long fasting, or these long fruit diet periods, or raw foods, being 100% raw all the time with no room for deviation. I promote systematic thinking. Get into the system. The system falls into all of those. It's just a matter of how you use the system. How do you execute the procedures? So if you want to naturally get rid of the slime and the stuff in your nose, lemon juice enemas, Mucusless diet transition, short-term fasting, the neti pot, the enema for your sinus cavity. That's how you do it. I mean, it's really simple. Reduce and restrict the amount of mucus-forming foods, and realize how devastating they are to the body. When we say mucus-forming foods, we're talking about foods that degrade into slime. White bread, if left in water, turns into slime. If you take white rice and cook it, it's going to turn into glue. They use it as bookbinders glue. Your body is going to break some of that down, but not all of it. And that residue, the uneliminated residue that is in your GI tract from year after year after year, that builds up. And anybody that wants to say, come and say, oh yeah, but the stomach acids and the digestive fluids, oh man, they take care of all that. Do they? Do they really? Look at the statistics of colon cancer, intestinal problems, the Crohn's disease, and the diverticulitis, and all these names that we don't even like to utter, that we just, because it's all the same thing. It's constipation, so it's very simple. But what we've done to the body is just made things so complex. We need to make this process a lot simpler. Transition, get off the mucus-forming foods, check out the Mucusless diet healing system to understand these principles, get into your fruit, and you're gonna take care of that problem. So until next time, peace, love, and breath. I hope that you found this video very, very helpful. And before you leave, we have a lot more videos for you to watch. I want you to look right here, click right here. This is another video that I made specifically for you to help you along your path. Click this right here, and I will see you over there.